We're here at Windy City Curling Club. We're here on a Sunday, which is actually one of our more busy days.
Be safe, no running on the ice. 1 foot should be on the ice at all times.
It's like riding a bike.
It's scary a little bit because, of course, you try to do your best not to slide on the ice. But, in the game, the better you get at balancing while sliding, it certainly works out to your advantage.
So a typical game of curling is 8 ends, or if it was in a different language like innings, just like in baseball. Essentially, we're going to go up and down the sheet 8 times. The main goal is to take a big heavy rock, it's about 42 pounds of solid granite, and send it down a sheet of ice about 140 odd feet, and get it closest to the center of the rings, or what we call the house. The number of rocks that you have closest as compared to your opponents is the number of points that you score.
I've heard shuffleboard on ice. I feel chess on ice is a little closer. There's a lot more strategy to it than most people realize.
You have 4 people on a team, and they all have a specific job. So there's one person throwing the stone itself, the shooter.
When you get a good slide technique and you can slide, a good length down the ice, it feels good.
A good glide, right away, because it kind of feels like you're flying. When your balance is right and your weight is right and the release is right, it just feels kind of like you're weightless. It's really cool.
You have 2 members of the team who are sweepers. The sweeping is doing 2 things. It's trying to take a stone and make it go further, as well as make it curl less. As a stone slows down, that's when that curl starts to happen, and that's where the name of the sport comes from. So by sweeping, you can actually break down the pebble that's on the ice in order to make it glide a little bit further, and as it's gliding further, it's also straightening the stone out a little bit. And then one person who's down at the other end of the sheet, called the skip, who's actually calling the strategy and the shot that they want thrown.
No, 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 no.
This is our first season here in this new dedicated facility that we were able to build here in Villa Park. We're actually kind of in the basement of a shopping center. Right above us is a Plato's Closet and a GameStop. We essentially had to build our own ice arena. This was actually the Illinois Department of Health Services. So it was actually kind of cubicles all behind me. So it was completely demoed. And then we started from pretty much scratch. So we had to prep the surface itself so that we can keep the ice cold and obviously not melted.
Curling is really big on etiquette. There's no refs on the ice. The teams are responsible for calling their own fouls. Good sportsmanship is like a cornerstone of curling. It's one of the things that makes this sport so unique.
I think Eric had the word yes out of his mouth before I even finished the sentence of "Do you want to curl with me?" She took a tiny bit more convincing, but it didn't take long at all.
I like that everybody just gets to be friends with each other and nobody is enemies here.
It's a fun sport to do as a family, just to be with family and have fun.